Today we're going to be falling down another rabbit hole, yes, yet another one, and we're going to be scrumbling our way to some freeform crochet. Stick around if you want to find out more. Hello my lovely YouTube friends, welcome back to a Kooky Corner of YouTube. I am Tori or Kooky, I don't mind which one you call me, I answer to both. And this is my little corner of YouTube where I share all the things that I'm up to and try and drag you along with me as well. Thank me later. Anyway, I have been absorbed quite a lot this week, first week in September, with making some freeform crochet scrumbles. This is what they call these little pieces of crochet. Now, it's crochet, but not as you know it. So basically, it's a kind of wing it and just see what happens method of crochet. You don't have a pattern. You do need to know the basic crochet stitches, which is probably somewhere I would direct you to before you do these. If you are a crocheter, you will know them. So we've got trebles, double crochet, single crochet, depending on whether you are UK or American. These terms can mean different things. So it's a question of not worrying about that when you do the freeform crochet, because anything goes. Anything goes. And not only, but also you can incorporate knitting into this method as well. So it's a case of using knitted pieces, crochet pieces. You could do all crochet, you could do all knitting, you can do a combination of both. You can add some needle felted pieces in. You could add some wet felted pieces in. It is a very open method of crochet. I have a book here that kind of explains it a little more, so I'm just going to read to you a little bit from the book just to explain a little bit about what it is. So this is from Jenny Dowd's Freeform Knitting and Crochet book, and it says, the main objective of this book is to introduce you to the wonderful world of taking your yarn for a walk through the mediums of colour, texture and freeform crochet and knitting, also known as scrumbling. So it's for those of you who like a challenge. Once you've learnt the techniques and understand the concept of scrumbling or working in a freeform manner, you'll be able to adapt it to make larger projects. So basically that is what it's all about. Now, I've been playing around with some yarn, as you can see, and although that looks quite symmetrical, which it is, it's things like that you can add into your pieces to add interest. So my intention, I'm laying it out here, my intention for these pieces is that I am going to make some form of a scarf. I'm starting simple. I want to make a scarf. I want it to be so wide maybe, and I may just incorporate some knitted pieces within that. So I might have my scrumbles based at the ends of my scarf, and then either have a knitted or crocheted main body and then add these in, or I could just go totally wild and have all of my pieces made up of scrumbles. Now, you're asking me, how do I find out about the way to do this? Well, a lot of it is using your own try it and see, suck it and see kind of thing. But there are a few methods that you can use in order to start your scrumbles off. And one of them being doing a circular piece and then working from that. If you can see on this piece, I've done like a little circular piece of crochet in the way that you would if you were making a crocheted granny square of some kind. And then what I've done is I've increased around it. So I've gone in with my next colour and I've increased the stitch. So I started with a single crochet, gone up to double crochet, half doubles, half trebles, etc., until I got to a double treble basically, and I've just stopped halfway around and joined in something else. And that's all you need to do, is to kind of like see an area, join into it, expand on it. Or you can do something like that and then just kind of add things on. Your scrumbles can be as big or as small as you want them to be, and you will want a variety of different like joining pieces like this, which is a triangle, which can get you out of a lot of trouble when you come to joining these together. So as I say, these are the ones that I have made so far. I have got a little bit of a list of things or places you can go to check out how you can start to do this yourself. A couple of YouTube channels, and I've got some books to show you in a minute. But where I started was my Pinterest board. I went to Pinterest and I then went on and gathered together some ideas of the kinds of things I was interested in. And I'll show you that Pinterest board now. And I have a few books on the subject. There are a few out there. There's not so many because basically it is a make it up as you go along kind of thing. But these ones do give you ideas for starters. So I am going to take you through the ones I've got on my shelf. There are others out there as well. So do a quick searchy for Freeform Knitting and Crochet. The first two books I've got are by Jenny Dowd. That's the name there, Jenny Dowd. This one is Freeform Knitting and Crochet, and her second one was Free Formations, which is design and projects in knitting and crochet. So basically what you will have, I'm not going to show you all the main pages, but I will try and show you some of the pictures in here. You're looking at how to put together colours. So what I suggest you start off with are some colours that go together. These can be all the same kind of yarn, or they can be all different kinds of yarn. So you can use up your fancy yarns, your eyelash yarns. For my scarf, I'm sticking to, I've got a merino double knitting that I'm sticking to for this particular project, but I'll be going off and running with it when I've made this piece. But for now, I'm sticking with this double knitting merino. You can go with whatever you have. Use the yarns that you've got in your stash, but gather together a set of colours that kind of go together. And that's my first tip for you. And then you can create things like scarves and bags, even go into jackets and clothing. Some of these are a little maybe not to our taste at the moment, but you do it for your own style and thoughts and things that you like. I really like that hat. I'm very taken with that. You can see much more updated versions of this. This book is probably about 20 years old, so maybe not the best for the pictures, but it certainly has got a lot of detail on how to get started. The next one is a design and projects, and it is again pictures, different ideas how to do geometrics and stuff. It is kind of doodling with the crochet, so you could draw out some ideas and then try and match that with your crochet pieces. Another idea that's been mentioned is that if you have a paper pattern, you could use that as your template, so that you could then put your pieces together to fill up the template and just keep adding in until, I mean, this is not the way I'd have a layout, but adding in until you're happy with how they go. And these can all be slip stitched or stitched together or crocheted together, however you want to put them together. But you build up your pieces and then join them together. You can just use one piece if you wanted to and just keep adding to it. But I kind of think the way for me to go is just to make lots of these little scrumbles, that's what they call these small pieces, and then join them together and add bits in to make them fit. That's the plan I've got going on here at the moment. So I'm going to do that with my bits. And then I'm going to have these little flowers kind of interspersed. I want to do some leaves as well because I want it to be kind of autumnal. I've kind of picked autumny, seasonal kind of colours that I can use to make these. But yeah, back onto the second book. I've deviated there, and this one is more of the same as the first one, but it shows you how to make little flowers and things, fragments that can fill in all those little gaps. So it's very, very well worth having. Another book that I recently got is this one. They're all Milner Crafts books, I think. This one is by Renata Kirkpatrick, and Renata has got this beautiful picture of a coral reef on the front of here, which is rather lovely. This one seems to be easier to read, and this is the one that I actually went to and I wanted to get in. So building up stitches and things like so. So you get your basic freeform techniques, starters that you can use, the bullion stitch, which is very handy. Then you've got some different kinds of things. So you've got novelty patches, floral elements, tassels and dangly things. We all like a little bit of that, don't we? So yeah, choosing colour and texture. Think about what you want to make. Collect as many yarns as you can, at least 15 to 20, but the more the better. I think you can do less than that if you want to be honest. But that gives you a nice base of yarns to call upon for your piece. So with my pieces, say I'm keeping it to natural fibre, and I'm also keeping it to these autumnal colours. But that's another book that is well worth having a look at. So tassels, stars, flowers. I love these headpieces here. I love to do something like that eventually. Maybe one day I will get there, but I won't get there unless I do it. So I have to physically get my crochet hooks out and make things. And I've been making like 1 or 2 a day so far this month because it's one of my little set tasks that I've got for myself. Another book I found useful, not particularly because it is freeform or freeform crochet or knitting, but I really love this book by Amanda Perkins. Not only has she got some of the most beautiful actual crocheted blankets in here, but she has things like, where's the triangle? Triangle pieces. So you've got like unusual shapes that you can fit into things, which I think is really useful. So this is also a book that I love, and I've made a couple of blankets from this, and probably will make another one at some point or another. But that is also great for getting some basic ideas for your beginning pieces. So that triangle was from there. So I'll be able to fit that in to join in with all the other things. There are also some really useful YouTube videos out there on freeforming. I will send you a link to 2 of them. I think it's 2 that I've watched that I really found very useful. And if you look for a designer called Prudence Mapstone, she has some beautiful tutorials that you can buy from Etsy. I think they also sell them on Ravelry as well, and you can look at her tutorial. She's like the doyenne of Freeform. She does some really beautiful things, and some of them are on Pinterest as well. You can go and check out her work. I think Prudence also now has an Instagram page where you can go and have a look as well. So lots for you to have a look at if you're interested in this kind of thing, as I am, as you can see. I'm going to keep going with this. I'll check in with you and show you what I've done with my pieces. I'll try and do it once a month if I can. What I'm hoping is that by the end of the year, I will have made a scarf using some of these beautiful Freeform crochet pieces, and I can share it with you and we can freeform and take our yarn for a walk together. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this little delve into something that I'm up to at the moment, something that you might want to have a look at too if you're interested in crochet and you maybe have had enough of just doing the normal following a pattern and you just want to branch out and do something different. This is probably a place that you might want to visit. Anyway, that's enough from me for today. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, don't forget to show me your thumbs and leave a like. And also, if you like the content here at Cookie Towers, then don't forget to subscribe. It is free and you'll get to know every time I upload a video. That's all from me for today. Bye for now.